Hello, friends. About 4,500 years ago, a wonder of the world was built in Egypt. One that continues to amaze people even today. The Great Pyramid of Giza. With a height of 147 meters, this remained the tallest structure in the world for over 4,000 years. So, they built a monument that still stands. Can you imagine a structure standing for over 4,500 years, through the hot summers, storms? You'd see two other pyramids built on the same site. Of the three, the tallest is the Pyramid of Giza, also known as the Pyramid of Khufu. Smaller than it is the Pyramid of Khufu, the second largest pyramid in Egypt. It is said to have been built by Khufu's son Khufu. The third and the smallest tombs and smaller pyramids. There are said to be a total of 118 pyramids of varying shapes and sizes. Many of them have been eroded. What was the reason for building these? The same reason why several ancient monuments were built. They were built as a tomb. The pharaohs are buried inside the pyramids. Friends, ancient Egyptians believed in the afterlife. They believed that life doesn't end at death. After death, the soul of the person travels to the underworld, where it is then judged by the gods. Those who lived a life of goodness remain immortal in the afterlife. So to prepare for the afterlife, the pharaohs would commission tombs for themselves while they reigned. A large amount of food, treasures, jewelry, furniture, clothes were to be buried with the pharaoh in the pyramid so that they would be used in the afterlife. After they died, their bodies were mummified and then sealed in a wooden or stone sarcophagus. You might wonder how we are certain that this is why the pyramids were built. There are two main reasons, friends. First, we have discovered scripts written on several other pyramids. But the conspiracy theories are often so bizarre that they make no logical sense. If light bulbs did exist in ancient Egypt, why have we not found any evidence proving it? In reality, this artwork depicts an Egyptian mythological story. Another popular theory by American politician Ben Carson in 1998, according to his personal theory, the pyramids were built by Jesus Christ's father. My personal theory is that Joseph built the pyramids in order to store grains. Now, all the archaeologists think that they were made by pharaohs, okay? Friends, here you can see the second major reason for coming up with conspiracy theories: religious appeasement by politicians. Anyway, I've given my suggestions, I've tried to base them in the landscape, but, a lot of it is still inference because the ramps were dismantled once the pyramid was complete. Only fragments of evidence are available to archaeologists, but it was ramps and sheer muscle power that allowed millions of blocks to reach the summit. Once in position, the builders faced a new task. Stones were just roughly finished. The gaps between them were filled with rubble and gypsum mortar. In between the blocks were stuffed lots of limestone chippings mixed with huge dollops of mortar, and it's set just like modern concrete. Of these blocks had to be almost perfectly flat to make these astonishing joins. Tools. This precision engineering was achieved using the most rudimentary of tools. Yes, we'll use this rods and string tool in order to find out whether the surface is truly flat, and by using a third rod, which is the same length as the other two rods joined by the string, which is now pulled very taut, we can see if it just slips under. Now we've got a bit of a high spot there. Now, in ancient times, they would mark that simply by putting some red ochre on just to remind the worker where to go to and check along the length of the string. The ancient mason would use the rods and string to spot imperfections and then mark them with red ochre to show where more work was needed. Using two further tools, this one being a flint scraper and this one being a sandstone rubber, now we can use the marks as a guide to scrape away the high point lines. Facing stones were covered with an outer casing of perfectly smooth stone. This was carved from the highest grade limestone, and who really